Hello there, welcome to Parliament Pause right here on ATU TV. My name is Bright Boache Glay, and today we focus on key issues in student leadership and governance. How do we build a parliament where members speak boldly and still maintain order and respect? Every parliament runs on balance. Participation must meet discipline. When that balance is missing, debates lose value and session lose direction. So today we explore how members of ATU Parliament express their views clearly while upholding decorum and professionalism. So joining me today is Mensa Emmanuel Williams. He is the member of the Majority Caucus, and we have David Ayaba. He is the Deputy Minority Member. Gentlemen, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're looking so good. Now let's look at the current state of HU Parliament. What is going on currently?
Yeah, thank you very much. So, currently, as we all do, we usually do, we recruit in new members, students that are willing to elevate themselves in
Okay.
leadership role.
Mm,
We just don't want to see themselves as students, but
okay.
rather want to bring out their potentials of public speaking and then making their voice heard, not just within the jurisdiction of the school, but
Okay.
beyond the school.
Okay, I think this is the second time you're doing vetting.
Exactly.
Do you run it like twice a year or
Yes.
something?
So what we do is we do it twice a semester
Okay.
because the school runs in the form of semesters.
Mm,
When in the first we receive people coming in, putting their interest
okay.
into it, but we want to open it again for people who are more interested.
So meaning this vetting is for second semester.
Second semester, yes.
Second semester vetting.
Vetting. So
Oh.
what we do is that we open it for the second semester. Then we open it in later before the semester goes to an end.
Okay.
Because
Why
people
that way?
would want to join the
Oh,
parliament.
okay. Okay, so you can still buy forms.
Forms, exactly.
Oh, wow. Interesting. All right, so let me come to Mensa. We're going to start from the individual level, right? So how can members balance assertive participation with respect for order and respect?
Okay, thank you very much for this question. I would like to sincerely thank our right honorable speaker for creating this platform for us, the student parliament members, to educate students, ATU students about the parliament activities. This is the ATU student parliament activity. So back to the question. Okay, to this question, let's say every student parliamentarian who has been vetted and gone through any student who has been vetted and gone through
The process.
the process and is verified to be a student parliamentarian with
Okay.
the name tag honorable.
Honorable.
Yes, is
Wow.
entitled to go through with something like let's say a small forum which is formed to educate them about the rules and regulation of the house
Okay.
and how they participate in the parliament in the parliamentary activities,
Okay.
going according to the rules and regulations of the house. That does not lead them to do something that to ferment the rights or the
Go
rules
contrary to the rules and
of the
regulations.
house. Yes.
Okay.
So in something like as I'm saying, when you're a student parliamentarian, as we do in the mother parliament, when you want to speak or when you have suggestions to make, no matter how eager you are or no matter how in a hurry you want to submit your suggestion, you just have to own up. You just have to stand up. We don't raise our hands in parliament houses for the speaker to notice your presence. That oh, my member is up, so I have to give him the platform. So when you own up, the speaker is going to give you the platform to make your suggestions.
Okay.
So through your suggestions or before you make any suggestion, if your leader is up or any leader in the house is up, you have to give the leader that mandate.
Okay.
Yes, for him to speak.
Okay.
So you just give your opportunity to the leader. So when the leader is done, then you speak. So something like this. So you can see that because of the rules laid out, as a member, when your leader is up, you have to respect the leader and give him the platform to speak before you make your suggestion.
Okay.
As a member.
All right. So to the new members, before you join the ATU Parliament, you need to watch this interview and know that in ATU Parliament, we don't raise our hand like we're in classroom, but then we stand. Okay, now let me come to David. Do you agree with that approach from the majority side?
Yes, I do agree that whilst we tend to express our views in the parliament, we need to do it in a very orderly manner
Okay.
to ensure that things are going on very smoothly.
Okay.
Activities in the house move on very smoothly. Goes on very
nice and smoothly. All right. So now let's look at how expression shape that. Expression shapes that balance. Okay.
Sure. Thank you very much. Whilst we tend to imitate the mother parliament, the parliament of Ghana, we also tend as the student level, we tend to look at ways at which doing all these activities can shape us in our expressions. We sometimes we see some honorable members in mother parliament who tend to express their view without even adding up some abusive words, even though they are debating. All these things tends to shape us. The same thing applies to us. You see, when we're having debate, people tend to be this eager,
very aggressive.
Yes, aggressive, having this their data formed, and they just want to just say something. But because they have a framework and then a constitutional book or a document that regulate all these activities.
Okay. So, what role does communication style play in maintaining respect and professionalism?
Yes, communication in this aspect is very key. You need to be able to express yourself
very well
in a very nice manner.
Okay.
Now, in when we are talking of communication in this aspect, you are not just looking at how you form your the sentences, but how you address your fellow colleague in the house. Our framework clearly goes against the using abusive words whilst in sitting. So in your communication, you have to make whilst you are giving out your submission, it shouldn't go contrary to that rule, to that aspect. To defiling a certain rules or violating the rules in the house.
Okay, so it means that if you cannot communicate very well, you can't join ATU Parliament.
Yes, whilst I see a ATU Parliament as a student, but I also see it as a platform that shapes students.
Oh, okay.
I know of students that come into the house, we are not able to express themselves very well. But with time, they were able to adapt the environment and learn.
Yes, wow. So it means that it's not about you having a good communication skill. It's a plus to have a good communication skill, but it's not about you having a communication skill. If you want to build your communication skill, that place, ATU Parliament, is also a good place for you to learn how to communicate very well. And it's not about the grammar. Just come and then express yourself on some key issues. But Mensa, do you think the majority always communicate with respect? You see, there are many, and all the time, majority. Do you think they speak with respect?
Okay, thank you for this question. And as my leader said, the majority is always the majority. But one thing is that due to the rules and regulations of the house, the rules does not consider your number or the voices you have in your caucus.
Okay.
Yes. Because a rule is a rule. And anyone who violates the rule must be punished. So no matter how big the majority, which is my caucus, is, we always try to make sure that we are on the right platform or the right rule of communication so that we don't violate. Because when we violate and one member of us is sent out or dismissed, it will go against us when balloting is ongoing or when voting is ongoing. So due to this, everyone in the majority or both caucus is aware that we have rules, and the rules govern our communication and key in the sitting or when sitting is in proceedings.
Okay.
And as my brother said, or my leader said, due to the rules there, when a member go astray from the rule and speak anyhow he or she likes,
Mm-hmm.
you are also disrespecting the speaker as a whole.
Okay. So if that happens, what is the speaker going to do, or
So
whoever is in charge going
okay,
to
so
do?
since we are in the two groups, which is the majority and minority,
Mm-hmm.
and someone from the majority owns up and speaks in a very disrespectful manner to the house,
Okay.
there will definitely be one member from the minority to notify the speaker that speaker, honorable, let's say honorable so and so said this
And that.
particular word, which is which does not go contrary to the rules of the house.
Okay.
So you, the member who spoke that word or who said that word, will be questioned, will asked to honor by the speaker and be confirmed that if he says something like, and if he or she admit that he said something like that, the speaker will ask the marshal to walk him out for some minutes.
Interesting. All right. So, Master, beyond communication, participation needs structure, right? So, how can the House encourage active participation without compromising order?
Okay. Okay. So, as I said, we are young parliamentarians, and everyone who is a young parliamentarian is entitled to communication or to, let's say, the role of a leader, even though we have leaders in the House.
Mhm.
So, in the House, communication, or when we say where we want to proceed with a certain
Mhm.
we want to proceed with a certain and we checking our constitution and how we are structured as a parliament house, everyone needs to be in accord
Okay.
in the house,
Okay.
no matter how big you are. Even the leaders can be worked out. How much
Oh, really?
Yes, please.
Wow.
Yes, how much a member. And now the last time one of our leaders was walked out because he used a very violatory word against a minority member. So imagine having a serious sitting or having a business communication or having a business sitting and your leader is walked out. How
What
would
are
you
you
feel
going to
as
do?
a member?
So, was that a minority?
Yeah, majority.
Majority, rather.
Yes. So,
Him.
yes. So that should tell you the behavior of the majority
Oh,
members
I
in that.
see.
Some issues when it comes to the house needs aggression.
Aggression, okay.
Sometimes when the minority sees that the majority is soft,
Mm.
that's when they build their grounds.
But do you think the majority, they are not aggressive enough?
Oh, the majority, you see, because of the number, we have the voice. Yes, we have the voice. We have the voice, but you see,
Whilst they have the voice, you also have the leg.
we have the voice,
Exactly.
but we having the voice does not mean that we don't have a foundation. Because before sitting proceed, every caucus conduct a meeting.
Okay.
That discuss about today's business or the activity that's going to happen in the house.
Okay.
Yes. So during the meeting, every member will be notified
Okay.
upon the actions or he or she will take. The rules will be once again mentioned to you before you enter into the house to commence with sitting. So you come in, you are aware of whatever is going to happen, and everyone too is well behaved and well structured.
Okay. All right. So let me come to David. Now, looking at this whole situation, there are lots of majority, and it's like their voices are being heard compared to that of minority. But David, do you feel majority gets enough opportunity to contribute?
Yes. So thank you very much. Once again, our house, one principle that we stand on is democracy. Giving up the voice for both caucuses to
Okay.
be able to express their view in a very equal manner
Okay.
without discriminating any caucus.
I see.
The minority have their side when it comes when it's debate. When it's time for the majority to say to defend to bring up their submission, they do
it.
same thing applies to the minority. So we do not compromise or any we do not overlook the other aspect, but we give it a fair grounds for both caucuses to bring out their submissions.
Okay. So, in what ways do established protocols contribute to the effectiveness of parliamentary session? Now, this goes to David.
Yeah.
Yeah, David.
Yeah. So thank you once again. So we look at then we then go and look at the framework.
Okay.
Now we have a framework called the standard orders. With every parliament house, this standard orders serves as a protocol or um, an activity, a rolled out activities on how things has to be done.
Okay.
You do not just, as he said, you can't just stand up and just say something, whatever.
Whatever
Yes,
you want.
you
Okay.
just first of all have to catch the eye of the speaker. The
Mm.
speaker need to recognize you that this person has to say this. And when your leader is standing, you as a member of a caucus, you do not have to stand.
Okay.
You have to first of all give the grounds for your leader
Leader to speak.
to speak, and then you will then come in. Yeah. So
All right. Let me come to Mensa. But Mensa, are these protocols always followed by the majority? Because the way you,
Like
the way you
today,
are,
I'm here because of my purpose. So, okay, so in my purpose, even though we may have the voice, yes, we still follow the rules.
okay.
As I said earlier, last sitting, our leader was walked out because he didn't do according to the rule. You see, and when business is in section and your leader is out, how can we proceed? Because he's the head. So we are, even though we are more aggressive and we have the voice, we are very conscious of what we do in the house as a majority leader. Because when you are a majority leader or majority member, you are not above the rules and regulation of the house.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So even with the systems in place, there are challenges that still comes up. Right. So what are the most common causes of disorder during proceedings, and how can they minimize it?
So during proceedings, one thing I have realized in the house is that since everyone is eager to submit this suggestion, there is this something like confusion. Like the speaker does not sometimes the speaker does not know who to call.
Okay.
For the submission for the person to, or does not know who to give the platform to, because both the majority and minority all have owned up to make suggestion. You see, and this creates an atmosphere of chaos. Like everyone wants to say something.
Want to speak.
Yes, and when one is trying to speak and the other is trying to speak, you see, the house will be full of chaos,
Noise.
and and there will be no this like order, or there will be many disorders, and maybe some will even just get up and leave the house.
Just like that.
Yeah, because they think we are wasting time and the speaker is not giving anyone a platform to speak, and everyone wants to speak from both cohorts. So one thing I've realized is that sometimes the debates on the floor itches the members to create scenes. Like everyone wants to say something, and due to this, the speaker, it makes the work of the speaker very difficult for him to decide who to allow to talk.
Okay.
At that moment,
Okay.
because sometimes time is fast spent, and they'll be like, and the speaker will be like, I don't know how to share the time because we are far behind time, and my leader will own up to say we were the ones who started submission, so we deserve that opportunity. And as you know, the minority will also own up and say no. If this opportunity goes for one person, then we have to be divided. And when we divide it, the time consumption will be very small for submission because we have a lot to see. So due to this, there will be much chaos in the house. So I think by the way of avoiding this, I think we should, we the members, we should make it on time for sitting.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, we should make it on time for sitting. So I think when we are on time, most members will get time to
also
express,
voice out.
Voice out.
Okay. But David, from your side, what triggers disorder the most?
yeah. So usually what triggers disorder is usually when the house thinks people a caucus tend to see things like something that is not unfair on their side.
Okay.
For instance, when on a debate, the speaker who is the presider of the house seems to give particular portion of time to a particular group,
Okay,
which the other group will see it unfair. Why should you give this time to this? And why should you sack my leader out of there whilst sitting is going on? So this brings kind
there's
of
a whole lot of confusion and all kind of stuff. All right, so time is much fast spent. Now let's move on to preparation and training. David, preparation and training. So how can members be effectively oriented to understand and apply parliamentary protocols?
Yes, thank you once again. So this is a this question then links me back to what I said, that we imitate what goes on in the mother parliament.
Okay.
Whilst we are learning here on campus as ATU Parliament, we look at what goes on in the mother parliament, how things are done. So we try to put the same thing in the house, so that we learn. What we always tell each other is it is a learning process. When it comes to legislative arm of government, which we are under, things are not just done like that. You go through some protocols. Things has to be done. If there is something else, we have a committee. Have you approached the committee? Have you done this? So all of this we try to learn from the mother parliament and also implement them.
Okay.
Here in ATU Parliament.
All right, let me come to Mensa. So you being the majority member, right? What role does the majority play in mentoring new members?
Okay, thank you very much for this question. So every caucus asks its leaders to organize an orientation for the new members, and you see the house is so well structured that even after your vetting, you have to choose your caucus randomly by picking. Yes.
Wow.
So you'll be balloting, but through the balloting, you don't know the kind of house you are going to get or be. So after the balloting, then you find yourself either the minority or the majority.
Okay.
So when you come to the majority, we have a group, the majority WhatsApp. We have a group that is called the majority WhatsApp group that is headed by our leaders.
Okay.
So you'll be added to the group. So when you're added to the group, you'll be educated about the rules of the house, which is very important, because that's the key rule you have to learn.
Okay.
Because that holds the house as a whole. So when after re-educating you as a member of the parliament house on the rules of the parliament of the house, then we come to the majority side. Because you see, majority, when you watch the mother parliament, the majority always come with this fire, this chaos and stuff. And every chaos starts with a formation or a plan. That's why I said even before sitting begin, we have a secret meeting.
Okay, before the whole meeting.
So as a member of the caucus, you'll be involved in that meeting, and our leader is going to tell you what you have to do and the rules you are supposed to go through before you own how to speak.
Okay.
So that the opposite side will not get advantage to fight we or to condemn our suggestion.
All right.
Because when you fail, it's their success. That's how we think.
Wow. So when they feel is their success.
Yes.
Okay.
So when the majority fail in submission, that's the groundswork of the minorities to stand upon it to defeat the majority.
Oh, I see. All
So
right. You see, we have a lot to say. Like we have a lot to say. I think we can continue in the next episode. Now, your final words, a short final words to the new members or to anybody before we end.
So all what I can say now is I'm very proud to be a member of the ATU Parliament because even owning the title honorable is so dear to me. Because we are all the same on campus, but when it comes to the governance and also activities of the parliament, the difference between me and my course mates is the honorable. Yes, and as an honorable, you have to go according to the name. An honorable does not dress anyhow on campus. So as an honorable, so you being a member gives you the advantage to learn more on how to dress and also shapes you to become a leader. And as you can see, in recent years, we have produced many leaders for the SRC.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Even our past vice president was from
Mm.
majority caucus
Oh, I see.
of the Parliament House.
Wow. All right.
Yes.
So let me come to David.
Yeah. Dear incoming members, what I would tell you is that this is a new adventure. This is a new beginning of something that is of impact into you aside the academic works, something that would shape you into the future. I always say the collective voice, an individual voice comes together to collectively address an issue or make an impact. So you come and join us as ATU Parliament. Let's make an impact. Thank you.
Come and join us as ATU Parliament. Let's make an impact. Strong points rise here, and this discussion shows that what it takes to build a disciplined and effective parliament in ATU. So this brings us to the end of ATU Parliament or Parliament Pause. And a big thanks to all our viewers and also our guests for joining us on today's episode. Thank you so much once again. So see you same time in the next episode. My name is Bright Watching Blake. Bye. Okay. Oh wow, you guys are very vocal. The communication is there. Like